Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, Martin Y here. As 2022 is approaching, there is a lot of new tech and specifically laptops that you can choose from. So if you're an engineer or engineering student planning to get a laptop in 2022, this video is going to save you a lot of time and money and make your choice pretty simple. I will talk about 90 seconds for each device, covering its pros and cons, and in the end you'll be able to make your own informed choice. The first device on our list is Asus ZenBook 15. In the past few years, Asus is renowned for its design and innovation, especially with their laptops. And they bring all of these into their new ZenBook 15, which also comes on a very affordable price of $999. This device looks very luxurious and it has a dual screen, so you can enjoy using the standard screen of your laptop, but also your touchpad has another screen from which you can have a very easy access to applications and tools that simplifies your overall user experience. This device comes right into the requirements for every engineering student or professional and can handle easily any programming IDE, Adobe Suite, MATLAB, SketchUp, AutoCAD and many more. It normally comes with i7 Intel Core CPU that operates on 1.8 GHz speed, and you know my opinion about Intel, there are actually better CPUs out there right now, such as the M1 and the AMD, but don't worry, there are more laptops in this list that definitely have these other CPUs. The positive thing of this CPU is that it has a beast mode, so for some applications that require more power, it could run on 4.9 GHz, which is way higher. You can also purchase a device with a dedicated GeForce 1650 graphics card, which is very good because normally it is really beneficial for the tasks that we are doing if the graphics are dedicated, because it is normally very helpful if you have the graphics with a separate dedicated memory specifically for them, but they don't share the one from the CPU like on other devices. So as you can see, the power in this laptop is quite enough to run your engineering tasks. Despite the power and the nice touchpad, the rest of the laptop is pretty basic. I would advise you getting this one with 16 GB of RAM and 512 GB of SSD. The display is also pretty standard. You can get a 4K display, which is quite a good option. The next laptop in our list is MSI Prestige 14. Have you ever considered getting yourself a workstation-like laptop that is both portable and full of features? Well, if this is the case, the MSI Prestige 14 is the perfect device for you. This computer also comes with Intel Core i7 processor, 1.8 GHz, with turbo boost of 4.9 GHz. For graphics, you also get a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce 1650 graphics card, just as you got on the previous device. So basically, as long as it concerns the power, the MSI has the same characteristics as the ZenBook. Even though this computer is completely Windows based, the display is actually the one that Apple uses, a Retina display, which in my opinion is considerably better comparing to the rest of the laptops on the market. So if you care about the display, this is the device for you. You also need to note that MSI Prestige 14 is one of the lightest laptops here, which is very important specifically for the students, and I can say this for sure because I was a student last year and you always need to bring your laptop here and there, so the portability is really important. And in terms of portability, MSI Prestige is a very good device. In addition to that, it also doesn't lack the ports. You know, most of the small laptops are lacking a lot of ports in order to achieve the smaller size. Well, this device has two Thunderbolt 3 ports, in addition to the USB 2 slots. You can easily connect your devices and monitors, and you have enough ports for that. Now, you can get this laptop for about $1,500, and you would think, okay, it is quite similar to the Asus ZenBook, but it is way more expensive. Well, there are two reasons for that. The first one is that the chassis is made from metal, so it's more durable, and the other reason is the battery life. So this device has about 10 hours battery life, which is considerably better comparing to the Asus ZenBook. The next device on our list is actually one proven computer throughout the years, and this is the Razer Blade 15, a laptop that for many years was considered as one of the best laptops out there. So why is this device so good? It has the same Intel Core i7 processor as the rest of the devices that I mentioned earlier. However, the built-in design of the Razer Blade 15 is quite different from anything else. It has a very good thermal performance and it will basically never overheat, something that I cannot say for the first two laptops in our video. Even though it's usually considered as a gaming laptop, this is very efficient and resourceful laptop for any engineer or engineering student. The 10th generation i7 Intel Core processor installed in that laptop can reach speeds up to 5 GHz. This hexa-core processor is very suitable for domains such as computer, mechanical, electrical, electronics, virtualization tasks, and turbo boost support. I have engineering friends having this device, and trust me, softwares such as AutoCAD, VBA softwares for Excel, MATLAB, CFD simulations, and any other academic and professional softwares are handled very good from that device. To support the CPU, this laptop gets a GPU or graphics card called RTX 2060, which is booted to 6 GB of memory, which is the best graphics card so far mentioned in this list. And trust me, this gives a very big improvement to the productivity and to the use for this device for engineering, gaming, or software development tasks. I would advise you to get this computer with 16 GB of RAM, and the RAM of this device is quite fast because it processes data and files with 2900 MHz. Of course, as most of the laptops that run Windows, you can upgrade the RAM or the SSD, so you can reach a maximum RAM of 64 GB or SSD of 2 TB. Now, if you want something really thin, you can definitely consider Dell XPS 15, which is a laptop that I absolutely adore. And here are the reasons for that. Firstly, the laptop runs with up to Intel Core i9 processor, and it is very customizable. You can either choose 1080p or 4K display. You can get any dedicated NVIDIA GeForce graphics card. The laptop that I'm proposing you is with 1650 Ti NVIDIA GeForce, but of course you can upgrade that from the Dell website and buy it directly from there. Now, why I like this laptop so much is firstly because it is very thin and it has a metal chassis. Also, the keyboard area has a carbon fiber coverage, so you don't feel the cold metal while you're operating on your device. So I can definitely say that Dell XPS 15 is one of the best laptops to hit the streets this year, specifically designed for engineering students. So everything in this computer is definitely built to last. You are getting amazing speakers, a beautiful and very colorful display, and a stunning design. Talking about the price, it really ranges here because, as I said, this computer is very customizable, so you can get it for anything between $999 up to $3,000. This device is actually included in many other rankings that I made about laptops, so I really recommend it to any engineer or engineering student. Trust me, you will not regret it. So as you can see, this laptop has plenty of positive aspects. It has a metal frame, it has a carbon fiber chassis, which is really comfortable for the fingers. It is also super thin and has plenty of ports to connect your devices. You can also get the XPS 13, which is quite similar. The only difference is that it is with integrated graphics, but the positive thing is that at the same time you can have it with touchscreen monitor. Now, if you are a fan of Google and Chromebooks, well, in my opinion, the best Chromebook currently out there, specifically suitable for engineers or engineering students, is the Google Pixelbook Go. This comes with Intel Core i7 processor, Full HD or 4K LCD display, and integrated UHD graphics. So let's first talk about the positive things about this device. The first reason why you would definitely want to get it is the price. You can get this laptop for about 700 bucks, which for that power is amazing. For this money, you're also getting a very good battery life of about 11 hours. Well, this laptop doesn't run Windows, instead it runs Chrome OS, which has already been proven to be a very good and battery efficient operating system. Another thing that I like about this computer is its keyboard. It has an amazing keyboard, and I would say maybe only the MacBooks would have slightly better keyboard comparing to this one, but remember, you're paying only $700 for a laptop with such a good keyboard and that type of battery life, which is in my opinion completely worth it if you're on budget. Now, of course, when you're paying this low price, the laptop would lack about some features, and there are quite a few things that I don't like about this device. Now, the most important thing for me here is that this computer has an integrated graphics, which means that the graphics or the GPU shares the same memory with the CPU, which in some cases is not bad, but knowing that the CPU is Intel Core, the integrated graphics here are handled in not very good way in my opinion. So on some heavy task like rendering and doing a heavy simulations, well, this computer might stuck and find it difficult to handle those tasks. But definitely, if you're looking specifically for a Chromebook with a very good performance, characteristics and price, this is definitely the perfect device for you. Now, enough with the Intel-based laptops, let's now move to the next level, or the laptops that I like the most, which I decided to talk about in the second part of this video. So here it brings us to the next computer I want to talk about, and this is the Microsoft Surface 4, which is the last version of the very well-known Microsoft Surface laptop. In the past, the second version, for example, had an overheating issues which were completely fixed in the fourth version of this computer. So this is a very good device to get today, especially if you're an engineer or engineering student. So let's talk about what I like in this device. The first thing is the processor. Now you can choose here from Intel and AMD Ryzen processor. Of course, I would choose the AMD Ryzen processor because in the past years those processors have proven to be very efficient and handle a very high performance tasks. So I would buy this laptop with that processor, and also in addition to that, the AMD processors are actually cheaper. So you can get this computer for under $1,000 with 256 GB of SSD and 800 GB of RAM. Of course, I would advise to update that to 16 GB of RAM and 512 GB of SSD. If you are doing work related to graphics, you can of course purchase that device with 4K display, but you can also choose the HD option if you don't care that much about the graphics. Now, another cool feature about this computer is even though you can get it for only $1,000, this is a flip laptop, which means that you can rotate the screen on 360 degrees and use this computer as a notebook. Actually, in one of the universities that I was studying, I had many friends, many students that got this laptop specifically for university. And this is because not only this machine is very powerful, it can run easily MATLAB and all the CAD softwares. I've used them myself on this device, but also when you rotate it, you can use a notebook software and use this laptop as your notebook in class. So if you get a magnetic pen and this laptop, you can hold it in your hand and write all of your lessons easily, and then have it on a digital copies, which for some students is way more useful. The next laptop in our list is actually a device that came out on the market this year and got very good reviews from reviewers and users. And this is the Lenovo ThinkPad X1. Now, Lenovo are very well known with their ThinkPad series for a corporate laptop devices, and many engineering companies chose specifically their laptops to give to their employees. And this is because not only the performance of these machines is great, but also they are very useful for something called a mobile workstation. So for example, the ThinkPad X1 has two Thunderbolt 4 ports, HDMI slot and Thunderbolt 3 ports as well. It also has a USB Type-A port and an audio jack. So you can see already that this device, even though it's a very slim laptop, actually have quite a lot of ports, and it's also suitable to plug into a workstation that is also provided by Lenovo. From Lenovo, the ThinkPad is always advised as a corporate and ultra portable laptop. So if you're looking for those things into your device, then definitely get the ThinkPad. Of course, this computer is also very customizable, but here we are also getting a very thin device in which you can choose any type of Intel Core, the most common i7 processor, up to 64 GB of RAM and up to 4K display. This laptop just consists of so much power that you can run every engineering software buttery smooth. So if you're a work freak and you're looking for a workhorse, this is the ultimate work machine that you can get right now. Knowing the power that this laptop provides, you can actually get it as low as $1,250 for the i7 version, so this pretty much fits in most of the students' budget. So okay, that's it. We're done with the Windows laptops, and here it comes the best part from the video for me, because if you follow my channel, you already know that I'm a Mac fan, so obviously the first two computers in this list are going to be MacBooks, and actually most of the students today, especially in US, are getting MacBooks, so there is a reason for that, and you will see it right now. So the first computer I'm going to talk about is the MacBook Pro M1 from 2021 with the M1 Max and Pro processors. Okay, these are the last MacBooks that were released out there, and you can get them in 14 or 16-inch version. So why didn't I put these computers on the first place? Well, the reason is because they are very expensive. The minimum price that you are going to pay for the MacBook Pro 14-inch is $2,000. Okay, so this is expensive, but for those money you're really getting everything you need. So first of all, you are getting a lot of ports. You are getting 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, you are getting HDMI port, and you're even getting a SD card slot. Okay, for a portable laptop these days, especially for Macs, these ports were lacking to any device, but this year they bring them back to the Mac. The second reason is the processor. In my opinion, and I'm saying this as a Mac user, I actually own a MacBook Air M1, I can say that the M1 processors don't have any match on the market, just because your computer literally never stucks and it can run absolutely every software. With my computer that I have it now for more than 1 year, I never got a single issue of something stucking. I never been in a situation that I had to wait for something to load on my computer. Never. Something I never seen neither on Intel or AMD based laptops. So the processor is rocket. The graphics are integrated into the processor, which normally I would say is bad. However, here the fact that graphics are integrated doesn't actually give you lack of performance, exactly the opposite. And moreover, here the base version of the 14-inch M1 MacBook comes with 8-core CPU and 14-core GPU, which are so many cores to work with, and this means that you can run multiple programs and threads that are handled very good from the laptop. This is basically a computing beast. There is nothing can stop it, at least from the current engineering softwares that you can find in academia or in your workplace. And finally, on the first place in our ranking is actually a laptop that I love. I'm actually using right now. I think this is the best laptop a money can buy today, and I really stay behind it. And this is the MacBook Air M1 from 2020. Yes, this laptop is from 2020, but even in 2022, I can say that this is the best laptop you can get. And there are few reasons for that. First of all, the computer is running on M1 processor, which, as you already seen, it's, in my opinion, the best processor you can get on a computer, and you can get it only on the MacBooks. The second reason, and why I think this computer has few advantages from the MacBook Pro, is firstly that this computer doesn't have a fan. Okay, so since this computer doesn't have a fan, this means that it doesn't make any noise. There is no place from where you can hear a noise, right? So due to the idea that the M1 processor is so efficient, you don't actually need to have an active cooling system, which is a fan. Instead, you have a passive cooling system, which is basically a piece of metal that gets cool near the CPU, okay? And in that way, this computer makes no noise. And plus that, since you don't need to put the big bumpy fan inside the computer, they achieved actually a very slim design. So this is one of the slimmest laptops I have ever seen, and in this small chassis is hidden a lot of power. As I said, I never had any glitching or stacking, even with the base MacBook Air M1 laptop. And unlike the MacBook Pro, this laptop is considerably cheap. You can get the base model of the M1 MacBook Air as low as $899, which is $1,100 cheaper comparing to the MacBook Pro. Of course, maybe the MacBook Pro has those 2% difference in the performance, but do you really think you need to pay $1,000 for just 2% difference in the performance? I don't think so. Plus the fact that this laptop is completely silent, unlike the MacBook Pro, which has a fan. Okay, so those are two reasons that I prefer the MacBook Air, and I really think that this is the best laptop for any engineering student for the price that you are paying for a MacBook. So guys, thank you very much for watching that video. I hope it was really helpful. I tried to include more laptops this time so you can really have a good choice and explore them all. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.